Hi guys, and welcome back to Pass the Move. And for today's episode, just like we promised, we do have the game for you here against Atletico Madrid. Now, of course, it's a very important game, not just because of the club, but at the same time because of where we are in the league. So we finally got out of the relegation zone, so we are getting there. We're slowly climbing up the table, but we are in 14th, so that's not too good. But at least in terms of the board, last time I checked anyways, my job security is a little bit more stable, not so much insecure. They'll definitely still expect more things from me. And maybe by the end of the season they might still let go of me, but for now at least it's stable and there's still plenty of time in the season to get over it, actually reach our target. So 14 games played so far for ourselves. Some teams have played 15, but yeah, it's 20 teams, which means 38 games, so we've still got another 24 to go, so we should be okay. Hopefully we continue our recent form anyways, but yeah, we are 14 points from I think last time we met was 3 points, so we have managed to do reasonably well. There's also the added bonus: if that we beat Atletico Madrid, we help keep the Europa League spots a little bit closer to us as much as possible. Atletico Madrid currently in the Europa League spot, and even if they do win the game, they actually, they do have a decent goal difference, so they might just about go above Real San Sebastian into the Champions League spots. But yeah, in terms of what happened since the last episode, we showed a game against Barcelona, a huge win. It really did kind of kickstart our season. We managed to beat Alaves after that 3-0 as well. They had a player sent off in the 72nd minute, which helped us. But yeah, Zaza opened the scoring in 6 minutes time. Really got us off to a good start. Sevilla, you can understand the 0-0 draw against the current Champions League spot team. They're doing quite well, and they're expected to do quite well in the pre-season preview too. So away from home draw isn't the end of the world against the likes of Sevilla. Did manage to beat Leganes 2-0 with Munir and Santi Mina both on the score sheet. Mina scoring in the 84th minute just to really secure the result for us. The disappointing results of the whole fixtures that we played so far was actually against Las Palmas. So we lost 1-0 with Enzo Perez stupidly getting sent off for the second time this season in just 10 appearances in the first division. He got a fine for that, of course, naturally, but he did get sent off very early on in the 9th minute. We couldn't hold on. Vieira scored a penalty, and we had to try to bounce back, of course, but with 10 men it's quite difficult. Malaga was a home draw, 0-0, not too pleasing that one, but again, you can kind of understand a club of Malaga's stature. They're kind of close to us right now. It was still obviously a bit disappointing, but you can understand it wasn't against, for example, losing to Leganes. Actually, sorry, we lost to Las Palmas, but yeah, there's a bit of a difference between these two clubs, so you can kind of understand the Malaga result a little bit more. And yeah, certain players played well, so it's just a bit disappointing from my midfield, basically. My front four really not managing to turn around the score in our favour, but points better than none, as we saw in the beginning of the season. And slowly we're picking up our form. We can't expect to be straight away wins all the time. So yeah, we'll do well to continue this recent form against Alaves. This was probably another more disappointing draw as well, but it's a Spanish Cup 4th round. I didn't realise there's 2 legs. I thought we're playing it over. But we are going away from home, so any goal we score now will actually count more. Well, actually, it's only counted after 90 minutes, but yeah, maybe we can get a better result away from home. But yeah, we do have the game against Atletico Madrid here for you. They're in 5th and we are in 14th, so that's kind of the gap. In terms of points, they're on 28 and we're on 14, so they are 14 ahead, but we can definitely close that today. It's an opportunity to, at least, but of course you'd expect Atletico Madrid to put in a real fight for today. We'll talk about the team in just a moment, but I think we'll kick off. You saw a couple of injuries there and one suspension. But we'll talk about who started in just a minute after the players warm up. Tough game, of course. It's always going to be against the top sides, and we want to show you as many games against the top sides this season. So hopefully, if we're still here next season, we can start showing you games of more importance, not club-wise, but points-wise. And yeah, so we're not favourites naturally. Apparently defeat could slide us back into relegation zone, so apparently we're not quite just out yet, so at least a draw is the point. They're playing with a 4-4-2. We've gone with Mina, Munir, Rodrigo, Perez, Suarez, Bakali, Montoya, Mangala, Santos, Gaia, and Alves. So, of course, I think we already mentioned a couple of injuries as well as a suspension. But Mina basically gets the nod again ahead of Zaza, who's recently gone into poor form. He started the season really well. Managed to get 5 goals. He's a club goal scorer currently. But Mina comes in for him because he's just kind of run out of form. Munir's playing really well in an advanced playmaker role, so he's taken over from Guilherme. Bakali's done really well for us all season. Rodrigo and not Cancelo, I forgot what his name was, Choca or something like that. Both of them are just kind of competing for that left wing spot because neither of them seems to be doing too well there. In midfield, Suarez and Perez, I think we're quite, we're not doing too poorly with Suarez so far, but Perez is coming in and replacing the suspended player. Gaia is the first choice, and same goes for Montoya. Mangala is a first choice player as well, so kind of straightforward, but Santos does come in and hopefully he can do a good job for us here. It's just because of the injuries that we sustained so far. He did play really well last game, not last season, and so hopefully he can continue that form here for us today too. Definitely underdogs, and the players aren't in too great of form recently because of the not poor results, but the draws that we're getting towards the the fixture for today. So maybe best thing to say is there's no pressure to succeed, and maybe we can, same team talk we had for the game against Barcelona a while back. So maybe they can reproduce the same type of result and come away with a very unlikely win away from home. There you go, two managers shake their hands, and I think we can just skip that little intro. And Santi Mina gets us off for today's game, or kicks off today's game. He should be getting us off. Alright then, let's see if hopefully we'll get a bunch of highlights, bunch of goals. That'll be good to see as well. In our favour, of course. So far, nothing yet though. We seem to be holding on to possession a little bit better than Atletico Madrid, but no shots and no half chances, or even clear-cut chances for that matter. Means that Atletico Madrid, we're coming up now slowly. Alright, let's see what happens here. Mangala clears it, but it's only out to Koke. Gaetan on the ball. Back to Koke. What's he going to do here? Can we win it back and counter? Now some decent interplay change, and there you go. Torres is through. What's he going to do? Oh, he scored a bullet of a goal. We get a nice little behind goal low replay of that. But really should defend a bit better there. They're playing the 4-4-2, but managing to keep possession and still play quite a high tempo game. Mero finds his partner really well there. Santos can't come across in time. Diego Alves can't really do too much about that. It was a bullet in real time. Slow motion looks better than it is. Alright, so let's push up into control and see what we can do. We might have to push our wingers up on later on in the game and go into a 4-2-3-1. There's immediate highlight after the tactical change, so maybe it's Madrid who are going to punish us once more for going more attacking. Instead, Gaia wins the ball back for us, and now we're on the counter. Munir, advanced playmaker, is he going to free our striker? Kinda does. Mina has to take on the whole defense though, and he loses out. And Savic instead is on the ball here. Atletico Madrid deal really well with our counter. Can we deal with their threat now? Gaetan on the ball. Very easy through ball, too easy. Mangala's lost him, and Torres scoring a brace of all people. And quickly losing, or Madrid are quickly running away with the result here. Atletico Madrid. What a ball from Gaetan, but Mangala is really caught out there defensively, and his partner comes across quite stupidly, and Perez can't get back in time to mark Torres. So somewhat silly defending for my players, but Mangala's still got that 7.1 rating. Santi Mina not performing too well in that striker role, I guess, so maybe not proving his worth, not proving that he's ready to be a starter at least. I can tell off my players a little bit here, see if we can get them fired up for the second half. Maybe we can spur a draw, comeback of some sort at least. If we see some type of fight, that's better than nothing. Slowly Madrid are edging possession now, so looks like them playing in a 4-4-2 and us playing in a 4-4-1 rather isn't changing too much. Let's quickly go into a 4-2-3-1, see if we can. Okay, there's a highlight and it hasn't even happened yet, so please be in our favor. Santos don't lose the ball stupidly. Finds Perez quite well, who no one really moving ahead of him, so he goes back to Gaia. And Gaia finds our deep line playmaker in Suarez. Munir, advanced playmaker through. Is he going to play anyone? Nah, safe ball back to Suarez, but he finds Perez. And what's he going to do here? Rodrigo on the ball. Mina almost put through, but instead it's Torres on the counter. And is he on for his hat-trick? Finds his strike partner quite easily, Gamero. On the counter. What is he going to go all the way by himself? Thank God that hits the sight netting. Sometimes in Football Manager they really squeeze in that near post shot a bit too easily. Diego Alves has had a bit of a quiet game, but to be fair to him, he's been let down by his defenders despite these ratings here. Alright, so let's make some changes. Mina needs to come off for his poor rating. Perez needs some better... We need better options in roaming playmaker. He's a bit tired. Hasn't had the best of games either. So we'll just make those 2 substitutions for now. We can make the last one a little bit later on with a more telling substitution. Maybe Rodrigo. We need to make an attacking one, of course. We did 2 in Perez and Mina, but maybe we can take off one of these 3 players who just sit behind the strikers. The 2 wingers and advanced playmaker, of course. Probably be Munir, most likely. We've got Guillermo on the bench, but maybe Bakali. No, not necessarily. It's probably Munir. Bakali and Rodrigo not having the best of games, but they are still fit, so it makes more sense to take off a player who's a bit quiet and not fit. We'll do that just now. Guillermo, maybe he can have an impact after being benched for a while now. Is he going to try and prove his worth, or is he just going to let Munir win the spot quite easily? Either way, not too much of note from our side of things, and Atletico Madrid have controlled this game straight from the beginning. Not too good to see. I think they're planning on getting Torres' hat-trick, and almost he grabbed it there, but Guillermo couldn't do anything after it. Yeah, Torres is playing really well, but he's also finding his partner really well too. And it looks like we won't even get a single clear-cut chance, or even half chance for that matter, but at least we've got a number of shots in. Not too many on target, but I think there's a bit of a fight there, just not enough to actually get anything from Atletico Madrid to control this game superbly, showing their dominance and their ability, talent really, in comparison to us. And that should be all from the referee if he ever blows his whistle. Zaza does well to win it at least, but can't imagine us scoring a goal here. Rodrigo loses out to Juanfran, and Gaia, there you go, that's the end of that. Disappointing to lose. Hopefully that doesn't actually send us into the relegation zone. We'll find out now. But no, we should still be okay. A couple of teams have games to play as well, but you'd imagine they'll lose them too. But yeah, definitely after this game we need to start climbing up the table. We do need to get into 6th or 5th. I think even 7th is... Let's actually have a look at the rules after this little save. I think even 7th gets you into Europa League spot, but it's like English football as well, where it depends on who won the, the cup competition. So, but if we get into 7th at least, which is just 9 points away, so very possible if some of these teams lose. If we're consistent, the issue now is that we have to be consistent, and normally as a Europa League team, you're kind of inconsistent, so that's not too good. But we do have to try and string some draws together, and hopefully Bilbao, San Sebastian, whoever, we've let Atletico Madrid get into Champions League spots basically again, but whoever's above us, just try and get them to drop as many points as possible. We do need to beat them as well ourselves. Just to show you, the prize money for finishing first in Spanish football is 4 million. That's incredible. I think even candidates who get relegated in the Premier League get more money than that. The TV money is just stupid. And prize money for that matter. But anyways, okay, continental continent. Okay, so we don't really, Champions League would be amazing, but that's way out of our league right now. 5th and 6th, and the 7th gets into the 3rd qualifying round. But again, depending on Spanish Cup winner. You'd expect Madrid, either Madrid teams or Barcelona, or even Sevilla for that matter, to win it. So I would say the Europa League spots are still up for grabs. I think, we just have to take games one at a time. But that's kind of all the top teams. Did we show you the Sevilla game? We didn't show you Sevilla. We showed you Barcelona, Madrid, both Madrid teams so far for the episodes. So maybe we'll be back for the Atletico Bilbao game, because they're in the Europa League spots as well. There's someone who we need to target. San Sebastian as well would have been good, but we showed you the Atletico Madrid game instead. Could possibly be back for Vigo as well. That'd be quite interesting. It really depends on our points, and maybe we'll start showing you crucial games of where, you know, it's us versus Alves, for example. Not the biggest teams, not the biggest team in the world, of course, but it would be crucial for us to try and climb the table. So it'd make more sense to show you those games. So we'll decide as is, but for now we're facing off against San Sebastian. Espanyol as well, not necessarily. Bilbao are kind of far away from us. Villarreal is a more likely game to show you if they're still in the same spot, and so are we. But let's see how things go. So, you know, you'll definitely find out in the next episode, of course. But yeah, for now, if you did enjoy today's episode, of course, please do hit the like button and subscribe for more Daily Football Manager 2017 content. And as always, guys, thank you all very, very much for watching.